if you live in anywhere like Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas State, you got an enhanced risk of severe weather. So let's talk about. Alright, everyone. So we got our severe weather risk for today. We got enhanced risk in Iowa, Illinois. We can see also on here, Missouri. We can see Kansas. We can see then a slight risk in Minnesota. We can see on here, Wisconsin, Michigan, a marginal risk in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, and New York for today, and Oklahoma, North South Dakota, and Nebraska. See also two on here. So yeah. Alright, so time to move on to our tornado risk for today. Also, then we get our tornado risk for today. We get in the black dotted lines. We can see we get our tornado risk 10%. That means we have a significant one potential for EF3 plus tornadoes in the yellow area. Then in the black area, EF2 plus. We can see potentially also with these black dotted lines. And we got 2% tornado risk from Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota also. Alright. Time to move on to our wind risk for today. Alright, then we got our wind risk for today. We can see we had 30% wind risk today, but not as much as yesterday, 45. We could still have really damaging winds today also, but not but not as much as yesterday. We can see in the black dotted line area. So we got in the 15% wind risk in Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois. We got a 5% wind risk of Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New Jersey, and Oklahoma, and North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska, and Kansas. You can see also on here. Alright, time to move on to our hail risk for today. No, that's yesterday's. Okay, so this is today's hail risk. We can see for day one we get a 30% hail risk for Iowa, Minnesota, Kansas. We can see also on here too, guys, with the black dotted lines. We have a significant one risk we can see on here. Then a 5% hail risk for Ohio, Oklahoma, Nebraska. We can see North, South Dakota, Minnesota. We can see on here also too for today. So it's time to move on to our day 2 severe weather risk, everyone. Now, so all right, that was yesterday. So let me just pull up. All right, there's our one for today, everyone. For tomorrow, I meant. So we can see we got an enhanced risk in Illinois, Indiana. We can see a marginal risk in Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Oklahoma. We can see then we can see a marginal risk in Nebraska, Kansas. We can see Texas, Kentucky. Then we got slight risk in PA, Pennsylvania. We can see West Virginia and New York. We can see also for our day 2, everyone. So let's look at tomorrow's tornado risk. Just give me 1 second. Alright, there's our tornado risk for tomorrow. We can see for June 11th, we got 10% tornado risk again for Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois. It does black dotted lines. We get potential of EF3 plus in those areas. We can see and a 5% tornado risk for Iowa. We can see Illinois, Indiana. We can see Michigan on here also. Then we got 2% tornado risk for Ohio, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Pennsylvania and New Jersey. In New York, we can see also. Alright. Now it's time to move on to our wind risk for tomorrow. We got a 45% wind risk tomorrow for Illinois, Indiana for really damaging winds in like North Dakota last night. Then we have a 30% wind risk for Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. We can see on here there's black dotted lines, and we got 15% wind risk for Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Ohio. We can see we got a 5% wind risk and 15% wind risk. Then we got 15% wind risk in Pennsylvania, West Virginia. We can see then 5% wind risk in North Carolina. We can see Minnesota, Wisconsin on here too. We can see also everybody. So now lastly, it's time to move on to our hail risk for this severe weather. Alright, time to move on to our hail risk. Right, there it is, everyone. So this is what our hail risk can look like for tomorrow. We got 15% hail risk for Illinois, Indiana, but some areas we have significant one potential for large hail. We can see then 5% hail risk for Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, then 15% hail risk for Pennsylvania and New Jersey, then 5% hail risk for Nebraska, Minnesota, and Iowa, and Kansas, and Oklahoma. We see every. Alright, everyone. So this is lastly we got our severe weather risk for Friday. We can see for June 12th we got a slight risk in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and New York. Then we got a marginal risk in Ohio, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, in Massachusetts. We can see out here in Massachusetts, and we can see New England states too on here. This is where our day 4 severe weather risk looks like, everyone. We can see we got a 15% severe weather risk for Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri. We can see also on here too, guys. Alright, so we got our radar projections here, everyone. This is around 1 p.m. today. We can see we got storms in Iowa, Wisconsin. We can see in Michigan Peninsula for today around 1. We can see also for Iowa. You can see down here in Wisconsin we got some storms also. Then we can see 2 p.m. comes along. We have storms in Iowa, Illinois. We can see Minnesota also around 2 p.m. today. We can see also 2 guys on here, and some rain in Michigan Peninsula. We can see also 2 guys on here. So yeah. Then we have 3 p.m. Looks like a line of storms starting to form in Illinois. We can see Wisconsin. We can see also on here 2 guys, and some rain in Minnesota, some storms up in Minnesota. See also on here 2 guys. Then 4 p.m. comes along. We can see we have storms in Illinois, Wisconsin. We can see Minnesota, Missouri, and Kansas also. We can see on here 2 guys also. Then 5 p.m. comes along. We can see we get a full line of storms. Looks like in Illinois, Wisconsin. We can see Wisconsin. We got some storms also in Minnesota and Missouri too. Also, we can see on here for around 5 p.m. today. All right, so hold on. Then 6 p.m. we can see our storms in Missouri. You see, look at some of these lines predicting these radar predictions. You can see we got some storms in Indiana, Michigan. We can see Wisconsin, Minnesota. Also on here, Michigan Peninsula. We can see also 2 on here. It looks like we get some storms in Iowa too also. Then 7 p.m. comes along. It looks like we got still a line of storms in Indiana, Michigan, Missouri, Illinois. We get some storms in scattered through Minnesota. We can see also on here. Looks like we got some scattered storms in Kansas, Oklahoma. We can see also on here. Then 8 p.m. comes along. Looks like our line to our right there is starting to go down a lot. We can see now. Then we can see storms in Illinois. We can see Missouri also on here. We can see some storms in Minnesota also. Some rain in Wisconsin, Michigan Peninsula. We see some rain also around 8 p.m. tonight. Then 9 p.m. comes along. We have a line of storms in Missouri, Illinois. We can see Indiana, Michigan, Michigan Peninsula. We have storms even Minnesota and Wisconsin. We can see on here also 2 guys for we can see out here around 9 p.m. also. Then we can see around 10 p.m. on here, our storms are starting to cool down in Illinois, Indiana. We can see maybe some rain in Ohio, some storms in PA, some New Jersey. We can have a storm maybe also around 11 p.m. tonight. We can see also. Remember, Eastern Standard Time, it's Central Time over there, so it's going to be like different sometimes. So at 11 p.m. it looks like we have some scattered storms in Michigan. We can see also. Then 11 p.m. midnight comes along. We can see we have some storms in Indiana, Ohio, maybe some rain also. New Jersey, we can see some scatter rain in New England states like Maine. Also, we can see on here too, guys. We can see around midnight. Then 1 o'clock in the morning comes. Pretty much all of our storms are pretty much gone. We can see it's mostly just like rain everywhere at this point. Maybe some heavy rain, potential storms in Michigan around 1 a.m. But so that's pretty much it for that. So let's move on to tomorrow's severe weather radar projections. Alright, starting around 2 p.m. tomorrow, we can see our storms are starting to get severe here around 2 p.m. tomorrow. In Illinois, Iowa, we can see there's maybe some scattered rain in Minnesota, North Dakota. We can see some rain in Kansas and Missouri. We can see also on here too, guys, and some rain in Michigan Peninsula too also. Then 3 p.m. looks like we have a line of storms in Iowa. Remember, this is Central Time. I'm in Eastern Standard. That's why it says 4 p.m. It's actually 3 p.m. So we can see we have storms in Illinois, rain in Minnesota, Wisconsin. We can see also rain in North Dakota, South Dakota on here too also, and some rain in Oklahoma. We can see also potentially also. Then 4 p.m. comes along. We have a storm line in Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois. We can see also rain in Minnesota, rain in North Dakota, South Dakota. You can see on here too, guys, also too. Then 5 p.m. we got a storm line in Illinois. We can see Wisconsin. We got storms, rain in Wisconsin, rain in some parts of Minnesota, We can see around 5 p.m. tomorrow. We can see around 6 p.m. we have storms in Illinois. We can see Wisconsin. Then we get some rain in Minnesota, Missouri, Oklahoma. You can see also on here too. We can see get some rain in North Dakota potentially too. But we can see how severe this. Look at this line, everyone. This looks pretty severe to me on that line over there. So let's keep going. All right, so we got 7 p.m. tomorrow. We can see it looks like a storm line looks like a really damaging storm line. Looks like moving into the Chicago suburbs around 7 p.m. tomorrow. You can see in Wisconsin, we can see some storms in other parts of Illinois. We can see some maybe rain showers in Missouri. In Oklahoma, we can see around 7 p.m. And we can see more storms trying to form south. We can see in Missouri, Kansas. We can see Oklahoma. So we got a really damaging line in Illinois. We can see in over Lake Michigan. We can see also on here. Let's see. And we can see 9 p.m. we got a full line of severe storms in Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. That looks like some storms trying to form in Missouri and Oklahoma. We can see also around 10 p.m. 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Then 10 p.m. our storms start moving more to the west. We can see east, I meant west, east. Storms are starting to move to the east more toward Indiana, Michigan. We can see Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Storms are trying to form more. Then we can see 11 p.m. on here. We have storms in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, but this could change a lot before then. In Oklahoma, we got some storms potentially too. Then I would say by midnight, our storms are pretty much, looks like it's gone down a lot. You see Illinois, Indiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas. You can see also on here too, guys. So pretty much that's it for that now. We're going to talk about our temperatures today real quick. Then that's going to be for this. So we can see also at noon today, 11 a.m. We can see in Oklahoma, we're in the 90s already, 80s in Kansas, 80s in Nebraska, 70s and 80s in South Dakota, 80s in Minnesota, 88 in Illinois, 90s in Missouri, 80s in Arkansas, 80s in Tennessee, 80s in Louisiana, 80s in Mississippi. We can see also on here today. Then we can see around 3 p.m. we can see our temperatures start going really up. We can see 100 in New Mexico, 100 in Texas, 90s in Kansas, 90s in Illinois. We can see also for over here, we can see 90s in Illinois, 90s in parts of Ohio. We can see 90s in North Carolina, 90s in Georgia. We can see 90s in Mississippi, 90s in Arkansas and Louisiana today. Also, we can see. Then we can see 5 p.m. today. We have 100 in Texas, 100 in Oklahoma, 90s in Kansas, 90s in Arkansas, 90s in Missouri, 90s in Illinois. We can see also around 5 p.m. also to get our feel like temperatures today. So our feel like temperatures could be 103 in parts of Texas, 102. You can see 98 feel like temperatures in Arkansas, 99 feel like temperatures in Louisiana. Then Ohio, Indiana, we have 9 temperatures and feel like in the 90s. We can see mid 90s in some spots. You see mid 90s in North Carolina, could feel like too. South Carolina. You can see for today also. Then Thursday is looking pretty hot too, I gotta say. We have 103 in Oklahoma. On Thursday at 2 p.m., 101. We can see 102 New Mexico, 101 Kansas, 90s, Missouri in the 90s, Illinois in the 90s too. Also, Virginia, or 100 degrees. We can see 99 North Carolina, 90s in South Carolina. We can see in Georgia, we're in the 90s too. Also, in 90s in Massachusetts, we can see in 90s in Arkansas too, in Missouri and Louisiana too. We can see also on here too, guys, for today. So, no, Thursday, I meant. Sorry, Thursday, everyone. She's just saying today so much, so it's just sometimes you just say it accidentally. So, you can have the feel like temperature of 103, 102 tomorrow. We could have feel like temperature of 100 in New Jersey, 89. You can feel like 96. We can see also for tomorrow. So, pretty much I'm going to be wrapping up the video here. I hope you learned something new today. Guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the notification bell. You never miss a video like this, guys. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.